Welcome back to another YouTube video of FlareFX, where we make trading very simple. Now in today's video I'll be breaking down gold as Nasdaq, so if you're new here make sure to subscribe. A lot of you guys watch my videos are not subscribed. Talking about some subscribers, we've hit 200 guys. Fair family, we're growing. If you're still not subscribed, please make sure to hit the subscribe button for more weekly content like this. Right, so now with gold and Nasdaq, we've been analyzing these pairs for the longest of time, like 3 weeks now, and you guys seem to love this one. So I'll just break down what we saw from last week. I'll put the link of the video over here, right? And then afterwards, that's where you can watch and then also come back here to get a bit of reference of what we've been looking at for the past 3 weeks. So now, as you can clearly see, we're in a downtrend. There's been a change of character. Price has been moving up. So we were anticipating that price will just correct into these zones and further push higher and higher, maybe till these highs, right? So now let me just get back all my drawings back again. So yeah. So all of this are my drawings. So from the top over here, this is what we've been analyzing, right? We've seen that the price has moved a bit down, and we're anticipating that we'll get a reaction off of this order block, right? So price has reacted off of this order block. This is on the daily time frame, mind you, right? It has respected that order block and is flying down, right? So now we were anticipating that we could come into this zone, right? This is highlighted on the lower time frames. I'll just remove it for P6. Let's just highlight this whole order block over here. So we could look at this as like some sort of a retest. If maybe you could take the trend line, push it all the way down here, right? We could categorize this as a retest. The price will just want to come back into the zone, right? Respect it, move up. Let's see if this is 50% relatively along the lines. Relatively, right? So this is relatively in the discounted zone. So price will come into the 50% range, probably respect this order block and fly higher, right? This is what we were anticipating. So now let's tap into the lower time frame, right? Coming into the 4-hour time frame, right, as we change. So now obviously this is an order block that we've identified on the daily time frame, right? So now there's a little bit of refinement that we can come into looking at this zone over here, mainly because it looks so clean, right? So this is relatively, we could call it a demand zone, right? Hence why price is moving so impulsively to it and hasn't respected it, or is yet to respect it as the week opens, right? So now we were anticipating that price was going to break these lows, which it did impulsively, made some sort of market structure coming all the way down, right? So now this is where it gets really interesting, right? Because it's a point where a lot of confluences come in, right? So if now we can take our trend line relatively from here to down here, clean cut finish, this is called a falling wedge, right? The low and all the way to the high, right? So now our anticipation is that price could, let's just do it like this just for cleanliness, 2-hour time frame, right? Then we fix up the screen like this. So now we understand that we've been moving towards the order block in with a reversal pattern, right? So now we're coming in with a falling wedge. So that's another confluence telling us that maybe we might be reversing, right? Even the reversal might have started because already there's a bullish engulfing that we can already see here, right? So seeing how the market really reacts off of the situation of Monday. So there's different ways we can obviously execute this position. We can go into the 4-hour time frame once again. So now this zone is very, very, very clean. So I would relatively put it on the 50% zone because of the stop losses, right? This is tightly big. And then afterwards, target all the way to the top over here, right? This area over here, right? Because we are going to move higher and higher. Don't forget gold. Let's just go on the daily time frame. Gold, as we were planning that gold will come to this point over here. Maybe it's on the weekly, mainly because it's going to retest, right? Because look, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, right? Gold has been struggling to push past over the 2 ounces, 2075 ounces. So now we're just seeing how it is. It's the last week was very bearish. That's why we're looking into this zone. As much as it is, this zone is also very, very, very good. Look at this, right? We can take even here. This is a zone where price is bouncing off of. Like there's a lot of rejection. So we'll see how price does respond off of the 1-hour time frame. Let's go to the 1 hour. So now what my anticipation is that, right? Either two things can happen. Price could either just carry on from this point over here, form the respective trend line and carry on. Maybe you could get in via retest, push higher and higher, right? Or we could catch that sniper entry from the bottom. So price could come in, form some type of low, purge that liquidity, come back up. So we'll be tapped in, then we can get a second entry, and price soars higher and higher, right? All the way to this take profit 1, right? So now let's just clean it up. Take profit 2 will be relatively this point over here, right? Anything that you feel comfortable with, but for now I'm seeing good buys as much as it is. We've been anticipating that gold will come down. This is more so a retracement. If you did watch my video on understanding market structure, you'll know what points we're looking for. Let's check the daily time frame because it's way more cleaner. This is the low and this is the high, so we're relatively coming in for that retracement. It can either respect this order block or this order block over here, right? And then we can further push higher and higher, right? So now let's tap into Nasdaq because it also looks very beautiful. Right, so now we are looking at Nasdaq on the daily time frame. Beautiful market structure. We've been anticipating that Nasdaq will eventually break higher and higher towards these highs over here, right? So now, just for reference, let me get back on my drawing so we can see what we've been anticipating, right? So now we bought this over here, we sold this over here. If you are interested in getting a situation where you get these signals from me myself and how I manage it with my team, my course is just underneath the description. Make sure to click the link in the bio. You'll be talking to me personally, and if you are interested in joining our group in getting these live signals and trading them with me as I do these breakdowns, then the link will be in the bio, right? But let's get into it a bit deeper, right? So now we understand that this is a falling wedge, or no, it's a flag pattern, right? If you can look at it in retrospect, there's an impulse, and then the market has been correcting since since July basically, all the way till around November. Now it has been pushing up and breaking these highs, right? So we can see Nasdaq pushing higher and higher. I see the tech companies growing as much as it is as the time moves on. As much as we were anticipating the BRICS would kind of influence the tech companies in some sort of way, but now we are at a very good point, right? So now look at the beauty of the charts, right? Last week we predicted that it was going to respect the trend line and go a bit lower, which didn't happen, right? So now we have to shift our perspective. In trading, shifting your perspective is probably the best thing you can possibly do, because you adapt with the market. You can't always push the narrative. If it's a sell, you only see sells. You always have to be open-minded and see what the market gives you, right? So now, understanding that we've broken out of this structure, or out of this channel, this descending channel, it's implementing to us that we are on an uptrend, right? We had a change of character, multiple breaks of highs. There's some bullish structure happening, as you can clearly see over here. Look at the beauty of this thing. This is a break of structure over here. Label this as a BOS. We can tap into the 2-hour time frame just for relevance, right? So now, since we're here, we can see that the price came and respected one of the order blocks that we can see over here. Clean cut finish. We've marked that trend line like that, and then price has printed this order block that we see over here. Clean cut finish, right? So now we could classify this as the low. We'll make the low blue, and then we'll make this high red, right? So we're anticipating that is the high, but we haven't seen any retracement of some sort. So I'll probably remove this. So now we need to see some sort of retracement to actually categorize this as a high, right? For all we know, Nasdaq can just keep on soaring higher and higher and higher. So we have to be really patient with this one, right? Let's tap into the 1-hour time frame just to see if we can refine anything else. So now here's a point that I'm very interested in, right? Let's say perhaps this is the point where Nasdaq is the high, right? It's relatively in the discounted zone, so we can see price coming into and using this order block as well. Let's tap into the 15-minute time frame to see if there's any relevance. Yeah, it's a bit choppy as much as it is over here, but for now, everything looks really bullish as much as it is, especially for Nasdaq, right? There was a change of character that happened over here, multiple breaks of highs, so we can anticipate that Nasdaq will kind of fall into this point, see some sort of reaction. So for me, since we are very skeptical, because there's so many order blocks, right? So now the most probable ones are probably the ones below the 50%. So relatively this one over here, or relatively that one, right? This one is a bit of a high risk, mainly because it is in the premium zone. So these are the ones we're looking at, number 1 and number 2, right? These are the points where we're looking to see if there's some sort of type of reaction, right? Let's see, 30 minutes, maybe it might be a little bit cleaner. Relatively, we could use this one because it is the one that also broke the structure, right? It's the one that pushed the whole price up, caused a sense of displacement, right? So now let me highlight this one, 2. So these are 2 highly probability order blocks, right? I would suggest taking this one, mainly because it is in the discounted zone. I don't see price coming into so deep And even if it does, it would be a situation where maybe there would be a trend reversal or something like that. But for now, I really anticipate that Nasdaq will come and respect this one more so than anything else. Taking confirmational entries, I'll put the video over here, right? If you want to learn how to take confirmational entries, so you wait for price to come over here, come into the lower time frame, see if there's anything that you see, clean cut finish, a change of character. Once you see that change of character happening over here, we can anticipate that there will be an order block that has been printed on the lower time frames where we can execute off, right? Then price will come back into that order block, execute off of that, and that's even way more high confluence because you understand that you're playing with the whole structure. You know where the market is trying to go and how it's trying to get there, right? So as soon as maybe you execute based over this point over here, so your take profit will be relatively this one. I'll go on the high time frame so we can understand what we see. Clean cut finish. There you go. So now let's go on the weekly time frame because it's way more relative, right? So now I always preach swinging, right? So these 2 points that we could take profit, but relatively this one is the most safest point because there is resting liquidity over here. Here is an order block over here on the higher time frame that is meant to be respected, most probably because there is a purge of liquidity too. Let me just highlight it like this. Anything you do on the higher time, you can definitely do on the lower time frame. So clean cut finish. Look at this. Price is going to push up to this point, respect it, and then push down, right? So for now, we'll just have to clearly see this is a trade that I took on Nasdaq as much as it is also with clean structure. So now understanding that we're waiting for price to come into our zone relatively on the 1 hour, get a confirmational entry, and then afterwards we skyrocket all the way to the top, right? Now, if you are interested in getting funded, the group is getting filled, guys. So make sure that you buy your account in the Funded Next. The link will be in the description. Then afterwards, once you purchase it, just DM me done. Then you will be added into the group and you'll trade setups like this so you can get funded, right? Anything else? Thank you for 200 subscribers. Road to 500 subscribers, guys. Let's keep on pushing. Another week, another dollar. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Everything will be in the description below. But yet another week, yet another dollar.